Well, just seen My Adventures with Superman, episodes 1 and 2 since they were a package deal, and I think I like it. Before I discuss my opinions on this episode, I do want to take a brief moment to talk about my consumption of Superman media. I don't think I've seen a lot of Superman media alone. I remember watching the original animated series as a kid, and I remember watching one of the early 2000s live action movies, but most of the media I consumed with Superman in, and he's never really like the main focus. I mostly watched like a lot of Justice League stuff, a lot of Batman stuff, and never really decided to, hey, let's just watch Superman stuff. I don't know, it's never really been that big on me anyways. But I do still have basic knowledge of Superman to know who he is, know his whole backstory. Like, it feels like common knowledge at this point to know Superman, right? All that is just for me to say I didn't have any expectations coming within this because I don't feel like I'm really that tied to Superman. I do like a lot of DC stuff, but I feel like my experience with DC stuff was mostly just Batman, and that's it. Because that's most of the movies I've collected are just Batman movies and Justice League movies and Teen Titans. And like, I really like the Harley Quinn show, but that's still kinda tied to Batman. But we're here talking about My Adventures with Superman, and let's just go ahead and start. This feels and is very anime influenced, if it wasn't very obvious from the animation and the mannerisms that some of the characters have. And I think it works with Superman. The Superman story is, at this point, a very generic story, so any spin on it is a really good spin on it in my opinion. And what better spin on it than, hey, it's Superman, but anime. And this is the start of Max's new formula because they have now seen that there's a lot of young adult fans of animation and they want to make a lot of animation now to target that audience, you know, even though they have cut a lot of said animation that did already target that audience. Clark first discovered his powers at 10 years old, and at that point his parents just kind of opened up to him about everything and showed him the ship that he came in, but you know, they were all kind of scared of the ship for obvious reasons. They were speaking a different language and everything. It just seemed scary, so he didn't do it, and he rarely used his powers to our knowledge as the audience. And then we cut to about 8 to 10 years later. He's a young adult. He's now interning at the Daily Planet, and him and his friend Jimmy has just met Lois. Sweet, sweet Lois. A lot of people have already made some jokes about Lois and everything. I think her design's fine. I think Jimmy's design's fine. I think this whole show is fine to great, depending on, you know, the story of season 1 and however long this goes. Because I don't consume a lot of Superman content, Lois's relationship with the boss at the Daily Planet feels a lot kind of Spider-Man influenced. Because the boss is tired of this intern trying to get a story. I guess this is the thing about like news shows in general, news drama in general, that the intern or the person at the bottom of a totem pole is always trying to find a bit story, trying to find a scoop, and the bosses never seem to like that. And now she's dragged Clark and Jimmy into it, and now this is their adventures of a normal man. They found some robots and this girl who's ordering all these goons around. These robots are now after them, and Clark mysteriously disappeared after the robots attacked, and this mysterious man comes to save the day. But it wasn't enough for the story to be published because the pictures were very blurry and they're speaking all this gibberish. What about robots? What about, you know, it's all a flying man? Really? They need more proof than blurry images of robots being flown around. So that's what episode 2 covered. Episode 2 was about them getting proof that this Superman is real. And Clark's side story was him finally going into the ship and discovering his truth, or at least some of his truth. Seeing his planet being destroyed and seeing his father and mother send him away. We all know the Superman story. That wasn't anything new for us. But it's nice for this character to see the story and for him to internalize it in an interesting way. It's also weird that this suit kind of snaps onto him like magic. I don't know. I just find it weird. Like, I get it's anime influence, and I guess they want a magical girl sequence or something. But that's kind of weird that the suit just magically comes on. I'm just saying, because it's just theirs, and I think it just magically came on for this one moment, because he had to hide it at the end of the episode when Lois was about to enter his room. So I guess it was just for that one moment. I don't know. They didn't really have to explain it to me. I was just curious about it. But now he's here, full-fledged Superman, ready to save for the day, and thank God he is, because Lois and Jimmy are in trouble. They have met up with the girl who tried to send those murderous robots after them, and oh no, she's trying to kill them again for obvious reasons. She tries and tries and tries. She also has electrical powers, I guess, but she failed. Superman saved the day and also saved her life because the powers became unstable, and that's basically the end of episode 2. What was interesting to me about this episode was the ending. After Lois and Clark had another will they won't they moment. I hope this ends kind of quickly and they just get together, because I don't want the whole season to be a will they won't they moment, although I will like it. I'm a sucker for romance stories, but teasing will they won't they for too long will get people annoyed, including myself, even though I do like it. But the interesting thing came at the end of this episode, where the murderous girl was strapped down to a table and she was being interrogated by one of the people she was trying to get off from her earlier, and a couple of other people, one including Amanda Waller, somebody we all know, or at least somebody I recognize as, you know, the head of the Suicide Squad, and they want to know more about Superman. So that's an interesting way for it to end. Is season 1 going to be about Amanda Waller trying to figure out what the Superman thing is and developing plans to stop him? Because I think it is canon that Amanda Waller and Batman also, I guess, both have contingency plans for when Superman is, whenever Superman goes mad. Will Superman go mad in the show? God, I hope so, because it is anime, and the animation for like an angry, crazed Superman will just be godly. I will really like that. But yeah, a good first impression for me. I didn't expect anything less or anything more from this show. It was pretty by the books, but it has great potential to be more, and I think that's what I should look at when it comes to the first 3 episodes, is if there's potential for a lot of random stories to be had, or if there's a thing they're going to start for an overarching narrative, and I think this started both. Since this is called My Adventures with Superman, I think this is going to be episodic, so I do expect just to have a lot of random adventures, including the overarching narrative of Amanda Waller trying to get him to, I don't know, stop or join him or experiment on him. I'm not sure. But with that being said, what are your opinions on My Adventures with Superman episodes 1 and 2? I'd really like to know in the comments down below. I hope I didn't ramble on for too long. I hope I didn't go crazy talking about it. You know, I hope you enjoyed this video. And with that being said, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys around next time. I have no idea what type of video I can make for this on the main channel, but we'll see after this season ends. Goodbye.